Thank you, Prabhuji. Sure. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudire नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नष्टकी. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 9. The Lord incarnates as Mohini Murti. Verse 1st to 10. Text 1. Sukdev Goswami said, thereafter the demons became inimical toward one another, throwing and snatching the container of nectar. They gave up their friendly relationship. Meanwhile, they saw a very beautiful young woman coming forward toward them. Text 2. Upon seeing the beautiful woman, the demon said, alas, how wonderful is her beauty, how wonderful the luster of her body, and how wonderful the beauty of her youthful age. Speaking in this way, they quickly approached her, full of lusty desires to enjoy her, and began to inquire from her eyes in many ways. Text 3. O wonderfully beautiful woman, girl, you have such nice eyes resembling the petals of a lotus flower. Who are you? Where do you come from? What is your purpose in coming here? And to whom do you belong? O you whose thighs are extraordinarily beautiful, our minds are becoming agitated simply because of seeing you. Text 4. What to speak of human beings? Even the demigods, demons, siddhas, gandharvas, charanas, and various directors of the universe or prajapatis have never touched you before. It is not that we are unable to understand your identity. Text 5. O beautiful girl with beautiful eyebrows, certainly Providence, by his causeless mercy, has sent you to please the senses and minds, all of us. Is, is this not a fact? Text 6. We are now all engaged in enmity among ourselves because this one subject matter, the container of nectar, although we have been born in the same family, we are becoming increasingly inimical. O thin waisted woman, who are so beautiful in your prestigious position, we therefore request you to favor us by settling our dispute. Text 7. All of us, both demons and demigods, have been born of the same father Kashyapa, and thus we are related as brothers. But now we are exhibiting our personal prowess in dissensions. Therefore, we request you to settle our dispute and divide the nectar equally among us. Text 8. Having thus been requested by the demons, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has assumed the form of a beautiful woman, began to smile, looking at them with attractive feminine gesture. She spoke as follows. Text 9. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, in the form of Mohini, told the demons, O sons of Kashyapa Muni, I am only a prostitute. How is it that you have so much faith in me? A learned person never puts his faith in a woman. Text 10. O demons, as monkeys, jackals, and dogs are unsteady in their sexual relationships and want newer and newer friends every day. Women who live independently seek new friends daily. Friendship with such a woman is never permanent. This is the opinion of learned scholars. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining for today's Bhagavatam session. And thank you, Shivani Mataji, for reading today's Bhagavatam section, Slokas translations. And today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 9, The Lord Incarnates as Mohini Murti. So we'll go through the Slokas 1 to 10. And thank you, Sundarananda Prabhu, for giving this opportunity to share a few points from Srila Prabhupada's purports. for my own purification. So we'll start with the prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupādāya Krishnapreshtāya Bhūtale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pachattadeshatarani. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Yeah, so we're in the section of just completed the churning of the milk ocean, and then now we are in the section of Mohini Murti, incarnation of the Supreme Lord. So, and this pastime happened in the 6th Manu of the current day of Lord Brahma, Chakshusha Manvantara. So, which means that the previous Manu, now we are in the 7th Manu. So, in the last chapter, we heard many beautiful, wonderful things that are appeared from the churning of the milk ocean. So initially the poison produced, which is very dangerous, and Lord Shiva drank all the poison and then protected all the living entities. And then we heard so other beautiful things that are appeared, like Surabhi cow and the horse named Vichaishwara. And this was taken by Balimaras, and then Airavata appeared, and Lord Indra took it, and Kaustubhamani, and then Parijata flower, and beautiful Apsaras. And then we heard Mother Lakshmi appear, and then she chose to Lord Narayana as the husband. And then we heard like the Varuni appeared, and then on the order of Lord Vishnu, the demons took that. And then finally we saw that Dhanvantri appeared carrying a jug containing a nectar. So as soon as the nectar is produced from the churning of the milk ocean, then the demons snatched that jug from Dhanvantri's hand and began to run away. And now the demigods are very morose, and they took shelter of Lord Vishnu. And then Lord Vishnu consoled them and saying that, you don't fight, but remain silent, and he will take care. So he appeared as a Mohini incarnation. And then meanwhile, the demons, they were also fighting each other to take the nectar before who wants to take before first, like that. And in this chapter, we will hear how the Mohini Murti captivated all the demons and then took the nectar from them and then distributed to the demigods. So we'll go to the slokas 1 to 10, the first section. So we see that in this first sloka, Sukadeva Goswami is mentioning that so the demons, after snatching the nectar pot from the Dhanvantri's hand, so they were fighting each other, and they want to see who will take beginning, so they were friends in the beginning, anyonyatha, so among themselves. But as soon as the nectar came out, then the focus moved to me and mine, so I want to drink first. So that's why they gave up their friendly relationship and then started snatching the nectar from one another, harantaha. Not only that, so they became inimical toward one another. Takta sahurdaha. So they became inimical. So in the last chapter also, Prabhupada in one of the purport mentioned that when people are not performing activities centered with Krishna consciousness, then the focus goes on the self-sense gratification, and then they will go to any extent or fight each other to satisfy their own senses. But if their activities are centered with Krishna consciousness, then they would like to help each other and then serve each other instead of harming them or snatching from or stealing from them like that. So that's why we are very fortunate to be in the association of the devotees who are always ready to serve or help and not to harm. So in that way, even our regular material life also goes smooth if we are in the association of the devotees. So here we see that, even though they are friendly, but as soon as a nectar came, because their activities are not centered Krishna consciousness, they became inimical. So unless one is in Krishna consciousness, so they will go to any extent to cheat others and then take away all the belongings. So that's why we are very grateful. We should be very grateful and thankful for Srila Prabhupada for creating this wonderful family and giving up this simple process of chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to purify our own self and to be in the association of the devotees so that we can be happy and continue our life peacefully. And after this life, we can be situated in a better position or go back home, back to Godhead. And in the next sloka, we see that the Mohini Murti, so while they were fighting, the beautiful young woman came forward towards them, so which is the Supreme Lord in the incarnation of Mohini Murti. So as soon as they saw the demons, so they were agitated by the lusty desires. So and they were started saying like, how wonderful her beauty is, how wonderful luster of the body, and how wonderful beauty of her youthful age. Like the seeing like this, they saying like this. They approached her with fully lust of desires to enjoy her. So this is one of the anartha, which is very strong, in this material world for the conditioned living entities. So where one should overcome to this. So otherwise, Krishna says that if one is attacked by this lusty desires, so then Krishna says that this is one of the door to the hellish planet, Trividam Narakasyadam. So the three gates to the leading to the hell. So what are those? Like Kama, Krodha, Lobha, those three, like, lust, anger, and greed. So that's why Krishna suggests in Bhagavad Gita that Tasmadeta Trayam Tejet. Like every sane man should give up these anarthas, like starting with Kama. Because Dwaram Nashnam Atmana, because they will lead degradation of the soul. So, so instead of we being in a better position, so we will fall down and then we'll continuously go through the miserable life. So this is very strong and very dangerous. So that's why one should be very cautious. So we see so many examples in the scriptures. Earlier also we saw the Ajamil's pastime, like, he's a good Brahmana with all good qualities and senses are under control. And as soon as he saw one Sudra lady who is kissing another Sudra man, so and half naked, so his mind got agitated and he fall down from the Brahmanical path. So not only that, he performed many sinful activities to please that woman, that's prostitute. So that's why it is very much advised a sadhaka to be in the association of the devotees as much as we can, so that we will not be encountered these kind of situations, or even if some agitation comes, we'll be able to tolerate it. So, that's why it is very important to be in the conducive environment for the progress of Krishna consciousness. So one time, Prabhupada's disciples, so they mentioned to Prabhupada that during the night time they would go to these nightclubs because there are many people um, engaged in the sense gratification activities. So they are there, so they can go there and preach all these people and give this Krishna consciousness. And Prabhupada said, yeah, it is very nice idea, but make sure that you all come back, because that environment is not very conducive. So the devotees who go to preach for others and give Krishna consciousness may impacted looking at being in that environment, and their mind might be agitated with lust and greed, or anger, basically lust. So then they will fall down from the path of bhakti. So that's why it is suggested one is not strong enough. They could get attracted to that environment if it is not conducive. So it's always good to be in the conducive environment. So otherwise, our sadhana will be impacted. So until we become strong, so we should be in the conducive environment. So we see many examples like, one pastime like, King Nahusha. So that was explained earlier. Like he was a great king while ruling on the Earth planet. So he ruled the kingdom very nicely as per the prescribed scriptures conjunction, and then he has all great qualities, and due to his ruling, when the Indra, the current Indra, so when he was uh, temporarily not able to rule the heavenly planet, he was placed. So the king Nahusha was placed into that position. So we can understand how much powerful king and how much great king he is. But as soon as he was placed in the position of King Indra, due to the opulence and many beautiful apsaras around him, so his mind got agitated. So his lusty desires increased. So due to that, not only he was enjoying so many other women who were apsaras like that in the heavenly planets, but he also wanted the previous king Indra's wife, Mother Sachi. So, so that was a very abominable thing. So that's why it's always better to be in the association of the devotees, conducive environment, so that we can overcome. So there are many examples like that, and one devotee gave some tips how to overcome this lust. So using the acronym LUST only. So L for, he said, loving emotions towards the Supreme Lord. So one should develop these loving emotions towards the Supreme Lord. So always look for how to please the Krishna senses instead of our senses. Krishna Indriya Preeti Chadare Prema Nama. So when we try to preach, please Krishna's senses, then the prema will be developed. So diverting our desire to satisfy our own senses to Krishna's senses, then we'll be able to overcome from the lust. So that's why these great saintly personalities who developed that loving emotions to the Supreme Lord Krishna, so even they were in a place where there are many beautiful women, they are not agitated. Like in many pastimes, like Bhakta Tukaram or Srila Haridas Thakur, even the someone sends a prostitute, a beautiful prostitute to them, because they have this great love and devotion to the Supreme Lord. So they were not agitated. In fact, they influenced that prostitute to take up the Krishna consciousness. So one should try to develop that loving emotions to the Supreme Lord, and then you for understanding the destruction that comes from the lusty desires. So we can have, through the scriptures we can understand. So even in this Bhagavad Gita sloka we see that Trividam Narakasyadam. So if our lusty desires are not subdued, or it is agitating time to time, then we are coming closer to the hellish planet. And then we'll suffer more and more. Not only that, due to the lusty desires, we perform many sinful activities like Ajamila has done. And then due to that, we will go through the many karmic reactions and suffer many lifetimes. So not only this life is miserable, and the future lives also very miserable. And then as for sincere sadhana and seva, so we should try to do, I'm talking to myself, perform our sadhana sincerely and see as best as we can how we can serve the other great devotees. Because mat sevam dwaram ahuri muktes. Like when you perform great service to the saintly people, the wonderful devotees, so then the doors to liberation will be open. And so when, if our sadhana is strong, then that sadhana will protect us as a shield from these anarthas, not to be agitated. And then T for a tolerator. So Krishna says that titikshava, like when there are these kind of time to time, these anarthas are sparked in our mind or in our heart, then understanding the danger of these anarthas, if we act on those base, then will be placed in a dangerous situation. So that's why Krishna says that titikshava, like, you tolerate it. Matra svasastu kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkada agama paayano anityas tams titikshava bharata. So he said, learn to tolerate. So at least we can try to tolerate when simple things comes instead of agitating. So we tolerate them, and slowly as our sadhana, performing our sadhana sincerely and seriously, then we can also be able to tolerate even some bigger challenges comes. Of course, whatever I mentioned, it is for myself, because I am also struggling controlling my senses. But we see here also, seeing the beautiful Mohini Murti, all the demons got their lusty desires and they want to enjoy her. So they started inquiring from her. And in the third sloka, we see that the demons are asking, you have such nice eyes resembling the petal of lotus flowers. Who are you? Where do you came from? What is your purpose coming here? And they're asking, our minds becoming agitated simply because of seeing. So, and Prabhupada mentions in the purport that demons inquiring, like, whom do you belong? Because generally, woman is supposed to belong to her father before her marriage, and her husband after her marriage, and after the husband leaves the house and takes the retirement, and either vanaprastha or sannyasi, then she will be placed in the shelter of her grown sons in her old age, like that. So that's why here the demons are inquiring. So whom does she belongs to, like that. And Prabhupada also quotes Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur saying that the demons asking here is, whose daughter are you? Because the demons understand that this beautiful girl is still unmarried. So that's why they inquired, whose daughter are you, like that. And in the text 4, um, they are saying that what to speak of human beings, the demigods, charanas, various director of the universe, Prajapatis have never touched before you. So it is not that we are unable to understand your identity. And Prabhupada mentions that even the demons are following the etiquette. Because no one should address a married woman with lusty desires. So even here we see that demons are following the etiquette. But of course, as the Kali Yuga progress, even these etiquettes are not followed by the many personality, conditioned living entities. And Prabhupada quotes the Chanika Pandita quote saying that Matravat Paradaresh. One should consider another's wife as the own mother. So we should develop this attitude. And here the demons, so they took it for granted that the beautiful young woman who appeared here is certainly not married. So that's why they started inquiring these things. And they have these lusty desires because they thought that this girl is not married. And then in the next sloka, you see that the demons are asking, "O beautiful girl with beautiful eyebrows, certainly Providence, by his causeless mercy, has sent you to please the senses and minds of all us. Is that not a fact?" So here, because they have developed these lusty desires, so they are very eager to satisfy their senses and minds. So here they are asking Mohini Mutti these things. And not only that, so they are saying that we are now all engaged in enmity among ourselves because of this one subject matter. Which, what is that? That is nectar. And we see that they are all born in the same family, but for the self-sense gratification, they became increasingly inimical. So they are requesting Mohini Murti to settle the dispute. So as we mentioned earlier, like, when one is centered the self-sense gratification activities, then they don't see that, is he brother or is he good friend, is a relative, is my well-wisher, like that. They don't see like that. They all want to try to satisfy their senses, even at the cost of others, um, putting them into problems. So So that's why it is very important for us to develop Krishna consciousness and also be in the association of the devotees. And in the next sloka, the demons and demigods, here the demons are saying that both demons and demigods have been born from the same father, Kasyapa. So the both demons and demigods, they appeared from the father is same, Kasyapa. Of course, mothers are different, but the Kasyapa is the father. So that's why they are related as brothers. But now they're exhibiting our personal prowess in dissension. But now they are fighting for each other for the nectar. So that's why they requested Mohini Murti to settle this dispute and divide the nectar equally among us. So they are giving this nectar to Mohini Murti and distribute the nectar equally among them. So, and this loka requested by the demons, the Supreme Lord, who had assumed the form of a beautiful woman, began to smile. And now we see that Supreme Lord, with attractive feminine gestures, she started speaking. So until then, the demons spoke, and then they gave they requested the Mohini Murti to distribute this nectar among themselves. And now we see that the Supreme Lord, in the form of Mohini Murti, so he started speaking. And he's saying that, "O sons of Kashyap Muni, I am only prostitute. How is that you have so much faith in me? A learned person never put his faith in woman." So here Prabhupada also mentions that, quoting Chanakya Pandita, saying that Vishwaso naiva kartavya strishu rajakuleshu. So one should not put faith either in a woman or prostitute or the politicians, because generally the politicians, they say something to win in the elections, but once that is done, then they will not fulfill their promise, or even if they say something to the that's why the here Prabhupada is saying that one should not faith on the politicians, or like similarly like women. And Prabhupada mentioned that here the Supreme Lord is who's pretending like a woman is warning actually the demons that don't put faith on me, because one should not put a faith on a prostitute. And here Supreme Lord appeared as an attractive woman. So for what purpose? Ultimately to cheat the demons and take the nectar and distribute it to the demigods. So indirectly he is disclosing that he appeared before them. So and he's telling also like how should they put a faith on her, because she's a prostitute, like a woman loitering like a prostitute. And in the last sloka for today, so here the Supreme Lord is saying that monkeys, jackals, and dogs are unsteady in their sexual relationship, and they want newer and newer friends every day. So women who live independently also seek new friends daily. So friendship with such a woman is never permanent. So this is the opinion of the learned scholars. And of course, Prabhupada mentions that here also, like the woman who is not under the shelter of either father or husband or grown-up son, or who is living independently. So if they are not into the path of bhakti yoga, so then they always seek new friends daily. So and comparison is given like money, jackals, and dogs. So that's why a friendship, one who makes friendship with those kind of women, like a prostitute, so that will not be permanent. And one should not put a faith on that. And here the Supreme Lord is mentioning this is the opinion of the learned scholars. So indirectly, the Supreme Lord is warning these demons, the sons of Kasyapa, that or indirectly he's mentioning that he's going to cheat and then take the nectar and then distribute it. So we will see like how strong the attraction towards the opposite gender. So even the Supreme Lord warning these demons, but still how due to the influence and captivated by the beauty of the opposite gender, how the demons were cheated by the Supreme Lord. So we'll hear that pastime in the upcoming sessions. So I'll pause it here. Thank you all for joining. Gramdara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.